Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Witches of the Moon. My name is Dia, aka OreoOasis.com. If you did not know, now you know. And this week we are talking about using other people's spells versus using your own spells. And first of all, I hope you can hear me because I'm doing these videos all on the same day and my throat is still a little scratchy, so I don't want to talk too loud. But you know, you got to do what you got to do when you got time to do it, right? Right. Okay. So with this thing seems to keep my locks keep getting caught on my eye, my piercing up there. But anyway, okay. I need to retwist them because they got little fuzzy hairs everywhere. All right, let me stay. Let me try to stay focused. All right, but okay. Using your own spell versus using other people's spells. Well, of course, I'm going to say use your own spells. To me, that is the best, but that is my own personal experience. That is my own personal opinion. Now, as far as using other people's spells, you know, when you're first starting out, of course you're going to use other people's spells. When you're first starting out, you're trying to figure things out. You want most times, not everybody, but for most of us, we want to try and we want something that's tried and true that we know is going to work. We don't want to experiment. We want something that we're just going to use it as it's been told over and over again that it's going to get the job done. And also, we're also building our confidence in our work. So that's a great thing, you know, when use other people's work. Now, however, the problem with using other people's work is that a lot of times they'll give the work out when they no longer use it. Now, I would say most of the stuff and spells and works that I've done that I give out for free, very few of it I still do. But I'm always changing. I'm always trying new things because I don't want to become complacent in my work. I don't want my work to be just going with the flow of things. I always want fresh energy, fresh idea, things like that. Which is also another reason why going with other people's spells when you do the same thing over and over and over again, it can become a little bit monotonous, and it also can become a little bit just bleh. I can't think of a better word than just bleh. Like the emotion just okay. You know what I mean? So switching it up does help. But then again, I guess when you're doing other people's spells, you could just switch to somebody else's spell. Now, what I was trying to say, I don't know if I said it or not because my brain is all over the place as usual. But what I was trying to say is that when you use other people's spells, one of the things you have to be careful about is that a lot of times they're not going to put out exactly what they actually did. So they may switch something up. So now when you're thinking you're using somebody else's spell, what you're actually using is an experiment because they're not going to tell you exactly everything that they did. And this happens a lot. So this is the reason why when you're using other people's spells, you need to know when they say a certain particular herb, know all the ways that herb can be worked. Also know how that herb works with you. I'll get into that in a second. Know what the oil actually is, what it's normally used for. Try to get as much history on the items and stuff. Never just go for face value in what they tell you, what anybody tell you. Try to get as much history on the things being used as you possibly can. Now, the person may not tell you, and if that person tell you, well, they're the one that gave you the spell, so you're going to want a little more information from other areas that can match up. Now, with that, and that's really just for your protection, because again, like I said, it's humans are humans, and you know, not every person has the best intentions when putting stuff out there. So just, you know, protect yourself. Now, there was a point that I made that I forgot that quickly. I said I'll come back to it. I think. Oh yeah, well, I think it was, you know, knowing what the herbs and stuff are used for. Yeah, and that's really just for your protection. Like, if someone tells you to use sulfur in a love spell, you might want to know what sulfur does. Sulfur is an explosive. Sulfur is also one of the things, depending on your path, if you smell sulfur, then you know it's negative spirits near. So, that's what I want to do. Make sure that the herbs that are being used and the thing that you pulled off match up with your morals and your spiritual path. What something means to one path may not mean the same thing to another path. So if you see something like a spell for money using alligator, right? Well, in your particular path, if an alligator is considered a negative entity, or you know what, let's use the example of snake oil because that's better. If something calls for snake oil, right, or snake skin, in one particular path, it's considered negative, is considered a bad thing. But however, in another path, it may be considered a blessing, it may be considered protection, it may be considered so many other different things. So before you just go and use this snake skin for whatever, make sure that that thing lines up with your beliefs. Because if your beliefs say the snake skin is negative and this thing that says use the snake skin for good, guess what? Your energy, your belief system was what's going into the spell, even though it was a pre-written spell and already made. So it may backfire or it may just go crazy because you have your energy going into something that you don't truly believe is for good. And this is the other reason why a lot of times spells and things don't all necessarily work for people. And it's just because, it's not just, hey, throw this on the candle, do this, do that, and you're done. You have to put your whole energy to it. And putting your energy to it is also putting your beliefs and your morals and your experience into it. Your hopes and your dreams and your goals. All that gets wrapped into I'm supposed to be looking there. Okay. All of that, it gets wrapped into what you're doing. So when you use other people's works, I highly suggest that you make sure that it matches your morals, your goals. Get a good idea. It's not bad to experiment, but get a good idea of what something feels to you. If it doesn't feel right to you, if you're not comfortable with it yet, don't force yourself to do it to try to get over it. I always say the best way to get over some type of fear is not just to just jump into it, is to educate yourself through it. So if you have a fear of something, educate yourself about it. Fear is usually just what we don't know, what we don't understand. The best way to get a first step of understanding is to have knowledge of it. And then once we have knowledge of it, then we can experience it. And I know this kind of a little bit of a double standard when it comes to spirituality, because a lot of times in spirituality, you just have to experience it to understand it. But spirit will never put you in a position where you are totally afraid to use certain things. It's not going to try you like that. It's going to bring you knowledge and things like that, and then present the opportunity for you to use it or not, or you try a different way. Spirituality should not be scaring the crap out of you. If it's scaring the crap out of you, that particular construct of spirituality may not be for you, maybe for you to go to something else. And that's okay. Because in life, we're not supposed to be sitting there spooked and scared and out of our mind all the daggone time just to prove that we spiritual warriors. I could talk. That whole concept just makes no sense, at least to me. Okay, now when you're using your own spells, well, the best thing about your own spells is that they're your own. They have your own energy for it. They have your own signature on it, and everything you're using it is not. It works for you. It's something that you're something that you're good at, you're learning to get good at, or something that at least doesn't scare the crap out of you. Okay? Now, the downside to working with your own spells is that it's all experimentation, and you can't blame nobody but you if that thing blow up in your face. In actuality, a couple of times it probably will, until you figure out the amounts and figure out what you're doing and how you like to do it. It's the results will vary. Will. And it's not, I don't want to scare you. It's not a bad thing. It's fun and it's a roller coaster ride on the same time. The only thing I can say is if you're doing your own spells, if you're creating your own spells, document each step so you can know what to go back and remix, what to keep, different little things, and tweak a little bit here and there until you get it the way that you like it. Let's see, the other thing about your own spells. The one thing I do like about your own spells is that if you want to take on clients and start doing work for others, it is best for me, I believe, that it is best to have your own way of working, your own way of doing things, your own how-to, as opposed to getting something from someone else. I mean, it'll work, but for me, in knowing how to create your own spells and do your own spells when you have clients, you can customize it to that client. Like if you're working from a spell that's given to you, like, okay, let's say this. Each person has their own energy, right? With the way I do it when I work for my clients is that I'll incorporate their name if they give me their name, and I'll incorporate a little bit of astrology, and I do an energy reading because everybody's energy is different. Some people are more bold and aggressive, others are more calm and passionate. Some people are nurturers, some people are tough love. So with that, whether it's a money spell, protection spell, love spell, legal spells, even though don't contact me for no legal stuff, I don't do that no more. Whole another story. Mm-mm. Um, a peace spell helping somebody get a new home, regardless of what type of spell you're doing. When you're doing your own spells, or working for yourself, even and doing spells for your clients, you could customize it to their specific energy pattern, to their specific energy trait. So therefore, it has a faster chance. Well, that is not the way I want to word it. It will the energy that you put out there will come back to them faster, and also it'll come to them in a way that they can accept it. A lot of times when you're doing, this is a side step, but I'm gonna bring it back. A lot of times when you're doing work for other people, when the spell is working, because their energy, you didn't really match it to their energy. When a spell start working, they don't notice it as a spell working. They think it's chaos. They think it's something coming against them, somebody to curse them. So then they start doing workings and stuff. And even sometimes with yourself, you start doing work and you forget that this is the spell that you did that you wanted, and you start doing workings and stuff that goes against now the spell that you just did to get what you want, because you don't recognize it, because it's not connected to your energy pattern of how you want things to how you accept things. That's the way I'm looking. It's not the best wording, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. How the way that you accept things into your life, the spell wasn't really customized to that. So when it starts working in your favor, you don't recognize it. That's the best way that I could put it. Um, so with doing your own spells, you can customize it to your energy pattern. You customize it to your client's energy pattern. So when it starts working, they don't think that you done messed up, or they don't sit there and go, oh my God, I can't do this. This is not what I want to happen. Blah blah blah. It starts to come back in a way they can accept. This doesn't mean that when it first comes back, it's not going to be some type of chaos, because creation happens through the chaos process. But at least the way that it'll start come back when it wants to start working and start clearing away and making a path for energy space for what they want, it'll be agreeable and acceptable to their energy pattern. Um, I don't know what else to say about that. That's really just all I have to say on writing. I'm looking here. I hope I was looking here the whole time. Sorry if I wasn't. Because I know I get aggravated when I'm watching a video and I don't know where the hell they're looking at. I'm like, what are you looking at? What's going on? But I think I'm looking here. But that's all I got between using spells that are already written for you and using your own. I tend to lean on the side of writing my own, and I really think everybody should write their own, because who knows you better than you? No one. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with doing something that's already written. Everybody has to start somewhere, and why not start with something that's been tried and true when you first starting out, or when you don't have time to try to, because at some point we're all a beginner to something at some point. So while you may be good at money, you may be good at love, with now is called for a peace spell. That may not be your thing. You may want to try to find something tried and true. What if you're just a calm, natural, nurturing person, but this thing calls for you to get the strength to go to war? You will need this warlike energy. You may want something that's tried and true, as opposed to trying to figure it out on your own. You know what I mean? There's pros and cons to both sides of it. Um, I'm a little hard headed, and I I kind of get entertained quickly, so I kind of like making my own and seeing the results and things like that. But if you're not to make your own, I do not want you to feel bad. It's just not for you. It's not for you. Everything is not for everybody. There's always something that's for you. There's something that's not for me. So to wrap this up, regardless of which side you lean on, don't let anybody make you feel bad for which side you pick. If you're just starting out of this, and of course, if you're just starting out, you should gather as much information as you can, as much understanding as you can before you just dive right into it. So if you're just starting out in this, and someone's telling you, oh no, you need to make your own and this and that, and those are rookie, well, damn it, you are a rookie. You're just starting out of it. Do you? Don't let anybody, don't allow anybody to make you judge yourself. Let me say it again. Don't allow anybody to make you start judging yourself and doubting yourself. Someone's always going to have something to say. That's human nature. Someone's always going to have something to say. And at times we judge. Let's be honest. I judge people all daggone time. Sometimes for fun. It don't really, to them, it shouldn't mean anything. It should not be imprinted so hard where they start thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. So don't allow anybody to don't allow anybody to allow you or make you judge yourself. Don't worry about other people judging you. That's going to happen. That's life. But don't let it get to the point where you're judging yourself. And I say have fun with it. You only got one life to live. Roll with it. Go until you can't go no more. Ride this life until the wheels fall off, honey, and look back on it and have great, great stories to tell younger generations to come. Okay? All right, so everybody, stay blessed to be a blessing. Don't forget to comment, rate, and if you're not subscribed, the hell did I just say? Don't forget to comment, rate, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you press that subscribe button. Watch everybody's videos. Stay blessed to be a blessing. I'll be back next week. Peace.